welcome to a new edition of France in Focus. I'm Nadia Sharby, and this week we're getting all loved up. From the sexy language to the pleasure-driven lifestyle, the French have a reputation for passion, starting with their capital. Paris is known as the city of love, and certainly the cobbled streets of Montmartre are hard to beat as a honeymoon backdrop. But the French also have a long-standing tradition of seduction and chivalry. Let's start with a look back at their love affair with love itself.
Love was definitely in the air during the Middle Ages, with a proliferation of literature vaunting feminine charms and masculine seduction techniques. At the same time, the Church set the tone when it came to conjugal matters, forbidding marriage between clerics and giving lay people very prescriptive guidelines to follow.
In the 13th century, the Church started meddling in people's private lives. They introduced the concept of mutual consent in marriage. They established the idea of the perfect married couple, based on friendship more than courtly love, which was characterized by an outpouring of feelings, the knight who'll go to any lengths to win his lady's heart.
Lust may have been one of the 7 deadly sins, but making love was encouraged after war, famine and infectious diseases left their mark on Europe's population in the 14th century.
Sex wasn't hidden. It's well represented in medieval encyclopedias, showing how to have sex for reproductive purposes, procreation being the only point of sex as far as the Church was concerned. So the man is on top of the woman, and it can be the other way around if the woman's pregnant or the man is obese.
From the Renaissance up until the Enlightenment, the Church and the state had a stranglehold on morality. Yet further from their reaches, in the countryside, the first love matches began to appear. Meanwhile, some aristocrats devoted their free time to libertinism. In 1792, the French Revolution gave rise to civil marriage and legalized divorce, short-lived freedoms which were then restricted by the Napoleonic Civil Code. In the 19th century, the mood turned romantic, but it was also a time of deep inequality between the two sexes.
For post-pubescent young girls, there's a dangerous moment where they're waiting to get married, so they must remain pure. It's essential to be a virgin.
Men, on the other hand, had intimate and close contact with women, from the wet nurse to the housemaid, and later on, prostitutes.
Eventually, the man would get married with a certain notion of romantic love. But there's also a tension between the sexual desire he feels for prostitutes and the romantic feelings he has about his virgin bride.
The 20th century saw French society modernize, and sexual pleasure became less of a taboo, a development that reached its climax in the free love movement of the 1970s.
Well, despite its reputation, Paris is the city of singles, infidelity and divorce. Over 40% of Parisians are unattached. That's 10% more than the rest of France. And of those who are in relationships, 46% admit to being unfaithful. In fact, Paris really isn't the place for happily ever after. Just 25% of marriages last more than 20 years. That's drastically lower than the national average of 41%. Here are a few more facts and figures about love à la française.
It was in 1791, during the French Revolution, that civil marriage was first introduced in France. A year later, divorce became legal. 2 centuries on, in 1999, the Civil Solidarity Pact, or PACS, was created. In 2013, gay marriage was legalized. Last year, 228,000 weddings took place in France, including 7,000 same-sex unions. Although marriage rates are going down. Most men today say I do at around 38 years old and women at 35. The birth rate's also declining. In 2017, 767,000 babies were born in France, 17,000 fewer than the previous year. 60% of babies were born outside of wedlock in 2016, compared to 37% in 1994. Now there are nearly 130,000 divorces each year, around 3 times more than in the 1970s.
Now, it may not fit with the fantasy of a champagne-fueled date, but here, as elsewhere, courtship has largely gone virtual. And to tell us more about how the French do online matchmaking, I've come to meet Didier Rapaport, who's the founder of the app Happen. Hello, it's very nice to meet you.
Hello, nice meeting you.
Tell me how your app works first.
Okay, fine. So this is an app that will allow you to find the people you have crossed paths with. And in fact, it's true that we also, when we benchmark the dating sector, we found that it was a very virtual space, and we wanted to bring back the real life into that space. That's why at Happen, why should you go online to meet people when you cross paths with so many people in your daily routine? And Happen allows you to find those people. Did
the French immediately fall for online dating? Were they early adopters, or did it take time for them to get used to the idea?
No, they have adopted quite fast the dating apps.
And dating itself, was that a new concept for them, perhaps?
It was not a new concept. I think that dating exists since the world started to be. So, and with the different periods, people have used what they could use to meet each other. So you have, I don't know, 50 years ago, you had matrimonial agencies. Okay, so today you have the technology that can help you to connect to each other. And what we do, our job is to help the people to connect to each other. Because when you talk with singles, they always tell you it's very difficult to meet new people. So thanks to the technology, thanks to the hyperlocation and the real time, we help the people to connect.
So your app is international now. Would you say there's a French style of online dating?
Okay, it's really international, but we note some differences between the usage, but globally, the people need to meet, okay? But in France, maybe we could say that the women are more passive in the sense that they are not the one to do the first move, to send an hello, to send a message. And I was quite surprised because I thought that European people, Italian, Spanish women would act, no, in fact, and in countries like Turkey, like India, women are very active, much more active than the French one.
That's interesting. So we'll move now to meeting in real life. I'll give you a small quiz about dating à la française. Is being late for a date, especially in Paris, a deal breaker?
I don't think so.
Okay, who pays the bill?
In France, probably the men.
All right. How many dates before getting physical?
Half date? No, it's a joke.
That's definitely the cliche.
Yeah. No, I suppose several dates.
It's not as codified as in the US, for instance.
It isn't codified. That's the right answer.
And do the French have the talk before putting a label on a relationship, whether you're going steady, whether you're exclusive?
I don't think so. I think that French people are not formal at all. They can discuss anything, and there is no code or a way to do within the first dates, which I think it's quite different in the US or in the UK.
And how long before you hear your first je t'aime? Is it a question of hours, days, weeks, months, years?
Months.
Yeah, the French are quite fast with their je t'aimes.
I think that no one says je t'aime at the first...
Or you should worry if they do.
Yeah, definitely.
Didier Rapaport, thank you very much for having
My pleasure.
Well, the French love a cliché may be exaggerated, but as a backdrop to romance, France, and especially Paris, hold a special place in foreign hearts. Promoted by dozens of iconic movies such as Funny Face, An American in Paris or Moulin Rouge, the glamorous atmosphere and picture-perfect views continue to draw millions of couples from around the world, keen to capture a bit of that magic for their own happy end.
It's 7 in the morning in the French capital. This American couple arrives just in time to watch the sunrise over the Eiffel Tower. But their trip has an even more romantic purpose. This man is about to ask his girlfriend to marry him.
photographer is here to immortalize the moment. It's just what they wanted. Everything went exactly as planned.
It's been a dream of mine to propose in Paris. It's known for the city of love.
I'm still overwhelmed. I was not expecting this. It's just romantic.
With Paris as their backdrop, Abiola and Tazia have chosen multiple poses to illustrate the occasion, with the guidance of a photographer. And they're not alone. Right next to them, a similar setup for this couple from Hong Kong. An entire team, including makeup and prop artists, is dedicated to their photo session. They may be in wedding attire, but they're not yet married. These photos will be shown on the day of their wedding, 6 months from now in Hong Kong.
Paris is a very lovely city, romantic, and my wife likes Paris very much.
It's my dream to come to here to take the wedding photo.
And with me, yeah.
Every year, thousands of couples travel thousands of kilometers to pose in the French capital. They often come from Asia or the United States, just to fill their wedding photo albums with pictures at the Eiffel Tower, along the Seine, in Montmartre, or in Parisian bistros.
She's a good actress. It's indisputable. Paris is the place to be for these types of photos. Parisians don't realize it, but for foreigners, Paris is the most romantic city in the world.
Tazia and Abiola are now headed to the Louvre, inspired by another couple they admire.
Jay-Z and Beyonce just shot their latest single here at the Louvre. And so we thought we'd just continue this for the culture. Yeah. Okay, good.
The photo shoot is finished.
Yeah.
But the happy couple says they'll come back to Paris.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir, Jean Paris.
Perhaps for their honeymoon.
And when even the street art is love-themed, you know you're in the right place for romance. We leave you here at the International Wall of I Love Yous. Stay tuned to France 24.
Je t'aime Paris, je t'aime Paris. I treasure each and every memory of you.